That's all right. We love you. We're happy you're here. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. Good to be back. Sort of.
Yeah, you're right about that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 249 of the Planet Destiny podcast. The early episode, because we actually went live a little earlier than we were anticipating that we were going to go. So as chat fills out in here, we will start things off. You know, the part of the show where nobody's here and nobody's listening. We'll go ahead and say the nice things about Nim now. Welcome back, buddy. We've missed you, man.
Yes.
Thanks. I'm sure you did.
We did. I mean, like all honesty, no bullshit. We did.
Yeah.
We love you, dog.
Well, now you guys are stuck with me again, so hold it.
Stuck with you.
That's good. That's good. There's things to talk about, and like we've missed your presence here to talk about it. You know, it's
Oh yeah.
it's been a while. Yeah, and we've
I've had
missed
to
your
step up my
conversation.
game.
Yeah.
Well,
Dan
I
just
see this
can't
as
sit
just
quietly and
personal
laugh.
growth for everybody. So this is an absolute win.
I didn't like it.
Oh,
You can have it back.
right. So Dan, you're ceding all of your talk time over to Nim.
I will just go back to my producer duties and chime in with an occasional joke here and there.
With a good-hearted chuckle every now and again, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make the
Usually.
YouTube crowd happy. You gotta laugh every now and then.
I have to
Dan.
laugh.
every
I have
time.
to laugh every now and again just to keep them on edge.
There you go.
Well, right on. Like I said, we're happy to have you back, man. And like, you really couldn't have picked a better week to come back because there's some stuff going on in Destiny right now. There's some things people are doing. We got the whole Solstice of Heroes going on right now. And I dare say that most everybody here has been knee deep in it. I know you have, Nim. I've been watching you. I've been spying on you and your progress. You've gotten a lot done, huh?
I'm done.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm done. The first day of the event, I ended up getting the Majestic set on all my characters.
Wait, did you do it without the boost, or did you with the boost? That
No, I did it. So I'm a Warlock main. Naturally, I started off with my Warlock and not my Titan, because for those of you that are not aware, if you started on the Titan on the launch of Solstice, you were affected by a bug where you didn't get a multiplier when working on your alternatives.
A bug.
Yeah.
The
So-
favoritism never ends.
Yeah. So no, I started on my Warlock and then kind of just moved my way down. And at that point, there was no confirmation whether this multiplier was intended, because it was people in the community that were like, "Oh, I just shot a Scion and I got like it counted for 2." So I saw
Yeah.
that and I was like, you know what? I can go to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning tonight. This is fine. I'm just gonna go work on my alternates today, just in case if it's a bug. Just in case if it's a bug, you know what? I'm gonna take advantage of it. So, yeah, no, got all my purple sets on Tuesday night.
Wild. I have one character at Magnificent, and I just finished my last couple of challenges a couple of hours before this show, and you were done on all 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, this man was prepared for this week's podcast. Good work. Excellent. It's good to have you back, buddy. It's good to have you back. But yeah, you know, Solstice of Heroes, it's going around, and I think we're going to spend probably a fair amount of time talking about it over the course of this week's episode. But the that change that Bungie made, of course, started out as a bit of a glitch, being only active on Titans. Having the bonus gains, it's 2 times gains once you get one character up to, what is it, Majestic?
Majestic.
And then you get 3 times point gains when you get 2 characters to Majestic, is fantastic.
So
What a
Mhm.
fantastic way to especially to respect players' time, for people who have more than one character, who play this game the correct way, by the way, and have one of each character. A great way. I think that's something that Bungie should do in every major event moving forward that has different challenges based on what class you're playing. Because when I found that out, for the past couple of years, I've done Solstice of Heroes and regretted it immediately a month afterwards, just like everybody else. But I remember last year I finished the full grind for Solstice of Heroes on my Warlock, and then I got the legendary armor on my Hunter and gave up on my Titan because
Yeah.
I got to
It
like
was
the
too
blue
much.
It was too much. It was
was
way
too
too
much.
much. And I'm so happy that this time around, Bungie implemented a system that made it so that if you complete the challenge on one character, you're going to complete it way faster on subsequent characters. That's definitely something I hope that they continue moving forward. What about you guys?
So
Absolutely.
not only that,
I feel like
Go on.
they also did like a clever thing. So in the TWAB this week, I think they talked a little bit about it. They're like, we didn't add like an extra reward at the end. Like there's no sparrow, there's no ship. All the sparrows and ships are in Eververse. If I could get this thing to open. Okay, there we go. Yeah, they said that the grind in itself is its own reward. And I think what level of gear, like what stat spread did you get, Nim, when you finished on all the characters?
my Warlock actually got really lucky. I got a decent amount of like 60 plus pieces. Not all of them are distributed the way that I want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I might head back into the EAZ to get some more of those chests.
Yeah.
My Titan actually also got some decent stat rolls. And my Hunter naturally was the one that got shafted, but that's fine. I don't play my Hunter really, so it's whatever. You know, it wasn't too bad.
Excellent. Yeah, and that's another thing that I'm really happy with. Once you've completed one set of armor, it basically adds itself to the loot pool of the Solstice packages, so you can start farming those out to get the role that you want. That's a great way to keep people playing. I know our buddy Fallout had what I'll call a little midlife destiny crisis with that over the week.
He sure did. He had a tough time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you, man. I love you, dog. But as a PSA to everybody else, finish the quest first. Go talk to Ava. When she's giving you all of the key fragments, that's when you start opening those packages. Because but if you do it before that, you're not going to get any armor.
Did anybody else like take the packages with them into orbit last year? Like not decrypt all of them? Because I know I did. I forgot they existed. So I fully plan on doing it again this time around. I'm at this this was exactly what I needed. Like a weekend where I could just turn my brain off, go shoot a bunch of different things. Not like you didn't have to be a pro strategist to get this done rapidly, especially if you just did it one character. You could kind of just tick them off one at a time if you didn't really want to focus on trying to do multiple steps at once. So this was relatively easy so far. I'm about to finish my third character. I took most of the week off from playing video games total, but I got almost all of it caught up and done this weekend. I'll spend a little bit of time tomorrow. I didn't finish the glows. I still have to do Pit. I got everything done except for Pit of Heresy.
Right.
Because I can't stand dungeons right now. They're just like so low on my radar. But am I the only person struggling with like what armor pieces to keep going into the next season, with which ones can put mods on what and where and how and who?
No.
Like I'm struggling to figure out what armor to hang on to because we don't know what transmog is gonna be yet. So like, am I keeping Gambit Prime armor because it might be a transmog? Am I keeping all of the raid armor in the vault? I don't remember what season I got what armor, even though it has a little emblem on it, because the number doesn't quite always match. Like it'll have a solstice like little thing on it, but it will cap out at 1260.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Warmind cell thing. Like I'm having a really hard time keeping track of armor, and it's getting to the point where I'm just going to say screw it and delete everything. And if I'm useless when it comes to PvE, like I'm useless when it comes to PvE.
So
that's kind of where I'm starting to head towards.
I'm going to suggest something to you.
No, I don't want to hear it.
That is fine, but I'm going to say it anyway.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, fine. So what I was going to say is I would go into the raids. Specifically, Scourge of the Past is a good one to jump into for Taken and Fallen. Scourge of the Past, You
You're
have
talking about, or you're talking about like mods?
armor for mods, yeah. So like, honestly, the Scourge of the Past and the Last Wish raid pieces of armor will give you the mods against the enemies that are coming up in Beyond Light.
Yeah.
The Hive armaments work with the Crown of Sorrows gear, and any gear that you would get with from Leviathan. I mean, obviously, only has the stuff that works on Leviathan. So, just honestly, work on those pieces of gear. Just the ones like do Last Wishes, do Scourges, do Crown of Sorrows, and you'll be pretty much set.
But then the course of action would be like, if the armor from Leviathan becomes transmog, now it holds value too, only just not in the same way where mods are going to slot and be useful. Now we're talking about cosmetics being useful.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still something that I have to keep track of. And I'm so unfamiliar with the armor sets that I don't recognize what their names are. And I've almost like, because I delete so much crap because you can't sneeze without getting 8 blues and 4 umbral engrams. And like, I mean, I say it every weekend, but like, for the love of God, Bungie, you throw loot at us. So I just delete stuff. I almost deleted the whatever this current set is called, the Solstice gear. I guarantee I almost deleted it several times. If I didn't have it locked, it'd have been gone by now. Like, it's so much. It's so much to keep track of, and I just want to shoot stuff and not think.
Yeah.
I feel that. Good.
I was just gonna say, I can't imagine. So one of the issues that a lot of people are having right now is because we don't know how this transmog thing is gonna work.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of people are hoarding armor, for that just in case if you need it. But I cannot imagine us needing to hold on to gear with the limited amount of space that we have in characters and in vaults and
like, what are collections there for? If
that's what I'm saying. So
right,
I can't imagine that we need to hold on to gear in order for like transmog to work, because again, like exactly that same question, like what even is the collections tab for, rather than to just check off, it's like I've gotten this piece of gear before. But that, I was just gonna say that's where, like, I get that it's probably a system that's still very early on in development for them, and they're like figuring it out. But this is where that lack of communication is like hurting a lot of the player base, because people are freaking out. They're like, "Shit! Like, do I need to hold on to this like old?
I have to go reform an entire brand new set of raid armor?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. The big issue with this right now is just the fact that Bungie stayed mum on it, and the only reason I can imagine that they haven't said anything about how the whole armor collection ornament thing is going to work is because they
don't
probably
know themselves.
haven't figured it out.
Yeah,
but that's going to be huge. Like, am I going to have to go and regrind the entirety of the Menagerie set before it disappears? Am I going to have to go and get the Gambit Prime stuff? How is all of this going to work? That's one of the things that I hope they take the time to talk about in the TWAB before the whole Destiny content vault thing happens, because there's a lot of cool looking armor sets that I really don't want to have to go regrind.
They couldn't have brought it up and not had some form of a plan. Like, you don't throw that dart out there into the community land and be like, this is coming and it's coming by this deadline, which they pushed back. But even still, like, you don't, right? You don't do that.
There's got to be some form of like layout that they at least have to be looking at, which again, we understand that things change over time, but like at least communicate what is like the goal of how they want this system to work.
Do you
like, is it going to work via collections, or is it going to work via armor that we have and take to Eververse and dismantle for silver or whatever? I don't know. It sucks that a lot of people are just like in the dark about this and kind of freaking out about their vault spaces.
Yeah.
Especially with I was going to say, like, the 12 being so light lately too, right? Like, they even gave us a TWAB or an update saying that the things were going to be light. Like, this is blatantly, clearly, honestly, a subject that would be quite meaty for a TWAB. if
Yeah.
you are light
Yeah.
on what you want to share.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, DMG did tweet asking what we wanted to hear about, what we wanted to know about, asking like 5 things or something like that. And almost everybody either had all
Transmog.
5 of the same thing in different order, but like the same 5 things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Same list.
Yeah. Do you think that they mess around with some of the mods and make them not agnostic, or make them agnostic to what sets of gear they go on, such as all the like hive armaments, the barriers, the all of that? Do you think that they take that and next season move that so that you can just slot it into any piece of gear? Or
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think they talked about a rotational seasonal mod slot. I need to look back at
I
exactly
think you're right.
what TWAB that was. I think that was sometime back in May, where they talked about having a mod slot that rotates. Let me see if I can
remember
bring
that.
that information
Yeah.
up.
Because
So we can
it goes back into like, now I'm storing these different armor sets and forgetting why I've stored them,
Yeah.
and most likely going back and deleting from my
Yeah.
vault. 'Cause I'm like, why did I keep I don't even know, like some shitty hunter
Why do I
gauntlet that
have
I
this?
don't even like. It's a 44 stat roll, but it'll hold an armament mod from 4
Yeah.
seasons ago, and I forgot that because I don't like, the only place you can make notes is on Dim, and God knows I'm gonna remember to go check the notes I put on a third party system. Like I don't have that devotion.
yeah.
I'm very much I just want to blow things up and set the world on fire kind of player. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I appreciate the value and the time and energy that goes into making a build that makes you more efficient in PvE, especially as you see more high tier, challenging end game content. I get it. But I also don't want to have to, like, what is the meme where you have like the chart with all the strings connecting together and like the you know what I'm talking about? Like the true, like
Yeah.
crazy deep theory in order to do it. Like, it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
The skill trees in Final Fantasy X weren't this convoluted. You know what I mean? And so it's like,
The board.
and what's the other one? Like Path of Exile, with like the most ridiculous skill trees you could possibly have. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need to be like that with Destiny. It doesn't need to go to that level. Like, these
Right.
mod systems probably should slot in and then be retired. All of a sudden, oh, sorry, Powerful Friends is no longer a thing. You know?
Yeah.
Something
here
to
it is.
simplify that system. Yeah.
So here's the quote. This is from This Week at Bungie from May 14th. Starting in season 12, Armor will no longer have a seasonally rotating 4th mod slot. Instead, there will be a mod slot that accepts mods introduced into the game throughout a full year. We recognize that the current need
Okay.
to replace your armor every 2 to 3 seasons and hoard armor from past seasons is undesirable.
Mm.
Yeah.
So does that mean starting season 12, we'll be able to use everything that we've just gotten this year?
This past year.
Yeah.
correct.
And then once season 13 starts, then season 11s will be retired and no longer be available,
That's what it sounds like.
right?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like on.
That's what it sounds
on
like to
that.
me too. But I struggle with reading comprehension, and Bungie is really bad. I love you guys. Really bad at wording things on your twabs.
Yeah. It's definitely a little bit confusing, but having it so that you can use a specific set of mods all released within the same year, I guess, it's probably a good way to handle that moving forward, rather than continually introducing armor sets that have access to these mods but not these mods. But
Mhm.
sometimes these mods, it's definitely a more convoluted system right now than I think it needs to be.
I feel like this is also a soft way to nerf things like the armament mods instead of getting rid of them like directly.
Just
Do you
like,
think
hey,
raid mods would not be one that would rotate out though? Like, armor mods come specifically from raids, right? So how would they
A
be
lot of
retired at
them.
that point?
I mean,
Or if it was
maybe they'll tie it to the year that raid came out with. Because I mean, these mods aren't technically raid specific; they work out in the world.
Yeah, but they also updated all the gear systems that, like, every piece of gear that you get now is right now. So it would be a year from now that they would rotate out. It'd just be a lot simpler if they just made him apply everything mods.
Well, that's what they say there, though, that Armor's no longer going to have that seasonally rotating fourth mod slot.
Yeah, but it's a yearly one then at that point. So you're just pushing the can down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they would just list it like mod by mod too. The following mods are going to be irrelevant starting the beginning of season 12, and would be like all of your Leviathan mods, obviously, because they're not going to be on the Leviathan, and then
yeah,
whatever the OG mods from like the beginning. I don't know, like year one crap. Well, they weren't even mods, right? The mod system wasn't even developed in year one. It was like year two that it actually started to gain functionality. So I don't know. I don't need to worry about whether I need to keep a Hunter Gauntlet for 2 years because it will have better already as a mod, you know?
Right.
I can only roll better already on this one particular thing. So, hopefully, like, I'm just glad that I'm not the only person who feels this way, where it's like I'm losing track because I've got 3 different characters that I play on, and I don't understand why this one random boot is in the vault, you know, outside of my Ancient Apocalypse, because I deleted the whole set and never got the Triumph score. So we've been playing a lot of Gambit lately, trying to get an Ancient Apocalypse armor set. Let me tell you how good that's gone.
Oh boy. Have you enjoyed your time playing Gambit?
You remember how I told you I just like delete everything?
Yeah.
So I'm on my Warlock grinding the Ancient Apocalypse armor set so I can get the 150 Triumph score because it's low hanging fruit. And I hear that you get invited to Bungie if you have a high Triumph score. This is sarcasm.
This is true.
It's my shtick.
I've heard it.
And anyway, any event. So I'm grinding all this crap. The only way you really get armor to drop is by as Infamy, and Infamy is like 8 billion Infamy points between rank ups. It's atrocious, the system. But anyway, Lem's laughing because he knows it's freaking true. But it's like, so the very first thing that drops is the Warlock bond, and I delete it because I'm just so used to deleting everything. And I finally grinded the entire set, and I'm resetting in my Infamy and ranking up over and over and over again. I've played so much Gambit this week. You guys don't understand. And I've gotten boots like 8 straight times. So the very first thing I deleted was the class item. I've gotten the entire set except for the class item. I've gotten boots, literally 8 straight rank ups or end game results. Like, it's been, and that's just one character. I got to do it again for my Titan and my Hunter.
Rest in
peace.
peace.
This is why I'd rather just I'm not worried about like any of that.
You don't want to get invited to Bungie?
I'm pretty bro. I'm not sitting at like 99k. I think I'm okay.
But are you one of the people who doesn't turn them in though? Like if I look at your tribe, is it all lit up like a Christmas tree?
No, I turn them in.
Those players, man, those people, their collections are all blinking and their triumph scores all like click me here. God, my OCD.
They're just
the only one that I don't.
Burn.
The only ones I don't clear out are the mods. That's it. Like the mod pages that's all lit up like Brooklyn. But no, I mean I don't know. Again, I'm at the point where like there's no information on how this is going to work, so I'm just not going to freak out about it. Like there's no reason for me to stress myself out if like the information's not there, because like if I do all that and like it's just they work transmog based off collections, or like they might turn might turn the collections tab into just a straight up a universal ornament tab where you can just like
that would
get the one you want with some sort of currency, and then boom, you're good, you're set.
No static acquired or attributed to it. It's just that's it.
Yeah. Turn into just a collection log.
Right. So like it's not doing anything right now. It's just a checklist.
Yeah.
You know?
It's an Eververse upgrade for $5. You turn that
that you only look at, that you can't use it, you just look at it.
Don't make jokes like that, Dan. Bungie made a lot of money this week with that Iron Banner emote. Don't make jokes like that.
I'm just
TBL.
Yes, sir.
Did you get it?
I did not. I did not buy that.
I'm surprised. Actually, I looked at that emote. I'm like, oh, this man probably bought it like immediately.
I thought about it. I have not picked it up. That or the Super Saiyan emote. Although I want the Super Saiyan one. I want that emote.
I think
That
it
should-
can wait on that because that'll come out for Bright Dust.
That's gonna be.
Yeah.
I think somebody data mined and like said that's gonna be on sale for Bright Dust sometime in September. I want to say so.
Okay.
Eyes
You're
on
fine.
for that one. But
Yeah.
we'll see about that. We'll see about that Iron Banner one. I already bought the other Iron Banner one. I gotta complete the collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Gray Fox is there saying September 1st. It's supposed to be on sale. So
Okay.
I'll hold on for that one.
That's not too bad.
So we're talking about the future of armor and the challenges and mods and all that kind of stuff in the future, and of course we want to hear what Bungie has to say about that. I do hope, like Aura said, Dylan asked on Twitter what people want to hear about, and that was on everybody's list. I do hope that we hear about that sometime, even within the next month, because I'd imagine they were supposed to be talking about that sometime within the next month anyway, because the original release of Beyond Light was going to be coming up pretty soon. So hopefully we still hear about that in the near future, because that's a big issue, and I think unifying the mods like they said they were going to do is probably a good idea, and just changing the collection log into just that, a place where you can go and see everything you've collected, but also taking in information that people have already put into there and adding it to your ornaments would probably be the best way to end that entire scenario.
Yeah.
But
It's hard to picture what like function collections really have as it pertains to armor, especially other than a place to display what you've already gotten. Like, it just feels like you could copy paste and have the ornaments become. It just seems like the clear cut thing to do, because you can't pull anything out of it. Like, you literally can't go in and get anything other than the year one.
Yeah.
exotics in year one.
All
stuff.
of it is, like, there are still some year 2, year 3 weapons you can go into collections and pull from, and because they were static roll, right? Maybe strike
like
specific
loaded question,
right?
Loaded question, and like those types
Nature
of
the
pinnacles
beast,
and stuff.
all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, even that has a functionality to it, whereas the armor, I mean, cannot pull random equipment.
Can't
Like,
pull randomly rolled
there's
stuff. Yeah.
and I think the collections tab, depending on where you started for armor, might be pushing 1,000 pieces. Maybe
You
more.
might be right.
It might be even more than that. I haven't looked, but like, that's an awful lot of just like really cool thing to look at, but relatively unused space.
Mhm.
Yeah. Absolutely. So here's hoping they do something with it. So I think that'd be the simplest way to get it done without forcing people to go and regrind for armor that they've already gotten just for the sake of ornaments. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I would
we
not
already
be too happy with that.
we've already seen like a good chunk of feedback of people not liking that already, because with the introduction of of sunsetting, they took
Yeah.
out a lot of weapons from the loophole that were rather recent, and then they reintroduced them again, so you have to go and regrind like another Gnawing Hunger or another Night's Watch
Yep.
after like I hope it's just not the case again.
Right.
The Night's Watch is the scout rifle, right?
Correct.
It's a pretty bad weapon to want to even try and re-roll.
I love that scout.
I like
That doesn't
Night's
surprise
Watch.
me, Nem. You love everything that's obscure. It's like what you do.
It's a fun scout.
There's no
Yeah,
such
I
thing
like
as
it.
a fun scout.
I mean,
Hey, the
There
Vice
was.
Scout rifles disagree with you.
The
that
what?
is very true.
those
The
are
Vice
fun too.
Scout rifles disagree
Yeah.
with you.
Oh, the Black Scorpion.
The Black
Yeah,
Talking about
Scorpion.
the AR disguised as a scout rifle? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the auto rifle
It's
disguise.
frig identity crisis. Yeah,
Gray Fox in chat says, "You mean bows?" Yes, you mean bows.
Oh.
man, y'all are getting to me today.
Mm.
I like how Dan takes a sip after the bow comment.
Of course,
Look.
it made him happy.
I love you guys.
We live in a world where Trinity Ghoul is the best PvE weapon. I mean, give him his win. That's your dub. Take your dub, Dan.
Dub taken.
Dub taken.
Oh my god.
All right, this is a question. I'm sorry, I don't interrupt. This is a question I
No, go
posed
for
in chat today because I am obsessed with my Callus mini tool. Feeding
Yeah.
Frenzy, moving target, ricochet rounds. I am obsessed with this gun. It is so goddamn good.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's being sunset hurts my soul. What is the weapon that you are the most sad about that you're not going to be able to take with you into next season?
Oh,
I have to know.
man.
Blasphemer.
Really? You love that
He loves
shotgun?
that shotgun. Yeah. Yeah.
Moly.
I have my kill counter right now is 5,453 Crucible kills with it, and it's being sunset. So, kind of sad about it.
This is something, Dan, you and I talked about last week or so. I'm really sad to see Ostringer go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss that hand cannon. That is easily my favorite PvE hand cannon.
That's like the only decent hand cannon that you can use on controller. That's not a
Yeah.
Sparrow
Kindled
Ashen.
Orchid is, well, it's been for PvE. Kindled Orchid is feels very good. 140s
Yeah.
in general. The what's the other one? The old fashioned.
Yeah. That one feels
I
pretty
think
good.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, they feel pretty
That was
decent.
reprised, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think with Dawn. I could
Yep.
be wrong in that, but I think it was Dawn.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna miss my subtle. I had an incident where I had to delete all my bows and all my scouts and my only Ostringer.
I was there for
this
that.
week.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty wonderful.
No.
Yeah, it was
Um,
awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty great. But
Rest in peace.
there was a subtle calamity in there that I'll forever miss. And it had I can't remember everything that I had on it, but I had close to 10,000 kills on that bow, and it was like PvE kills on that bow, and it was an old friend. It was
Yeah.
quite wonderful. I'm gonna miss. I wouldn't have been able to take it in next season anyway, but you know, it sucks to see the ones you love go.
Yeah.
Dan got real personal real fast with that bow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's me in the Cal. Like, I wasn't using the Callus mini tool because the Recluse was so powerful for so long.
Overwhelming.
The
Yeah.
Recluse feels like dog shit compared to how nimble, how quick, and how much of a buzzsaw. And the thing that I'm having the hardest time with is that there are other SMGs that have come out, like the Death Adder and the Ikelos
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
but they just don't give me the same buzzsaw mobility feel. Now, I haven't really run a lot of Death Adder, but like nothing really carves through enemies the same way that this Callus mini tool has for me.
I have like a really, really solid Death Adder that I got, and it feels super, super nice because it brought dynamic sway and moving target. And dude, that thing just shreds in PvP.
So not worried about SMGs or PvP. I feel like they're still like even with the changes that are being made to grenade launchers, right? Like Mountaintop is being taken from us, but there are still going to be other options.
Thank
And
God.
well, the thing
Truth
about it is
teller.
like, great, they're taking Mountaintop away, but there's still going to be 7 other grenade launchers that are going to be usable. They're not going to be like a missile, but
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who pays attention can use other grenade launchers just as well.
Truth teller
In
is
fact-
very close.
Right.
Very,
And
very
concussive grenades and flashbang grenades are actually really useful in high-end PvE activities. There's something about making your enemies not shoot it one-shot you because they don't even see you. But like there's going to be other options in that spot, but there's something about ARs right now and SMGs that just make them feel like they're more applicable to me and how I like to play PvE than other weapons. So it's like Mountaintop's getting removed. What am I going to be rolling whatever SMG I'm using with? But I just don't see an SMG coming out of my hands. And there's even other versions, like what is it, the 7th Seraph SMG.
That one's good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't I don't like it. Nothing performs the same way that this damn Mida mini tool does.
And
Nothing
you know,
that I've tried so far.
yeah, and you've brought that up a couple of times on the show, and I still can't believe that Bungie would let that weapon be sunset when it has utility with a very specific exotic. That's like letting Drawn be sunset, but still having the exotic hand cannon that appears with Stern.
Right.
Why would they do that? Why?
They might reprise it with Beyond Light.
Yeah.
I hope they do. I think those are weapons that should never be sunset because they have utility. Some of them only function with exotics, and certain exotics only function with them. What does Sturm do without Drawn? Nothing. It doesn't do anything without it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to sunset that stuff.
Looks pretty on your wall. That's it.
All right. So what's
It's
the
just a
flip
pretty
side
monument.
question, right? What's the flip side question then? What's something you're looking forward to bringing with you into the next season, weaponry wise?
Ooh, I have a cheat answer for this after everybody's done, and it's Dan's fault.
Can't say an exotic. You can't say ruinous effigy or wither horde.
I don't have to say an exotic. Don't worry.
Okay.
You'll
All
see.
right. All right.
Hmm.
Something that I look forward to bringing.
Yeah, Nemmers.
I can't think of anything.
You'll have a single gun that you use right now that came in within the last year that you think is viable, good, fun weapon to use. I hope Bungie's taking notes.
No, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
I have a Reckless Oracle that I love.
Really?
What's on it?
Ricochet rounds has mulligan, which not great. But kill clip and corkscrew rifling. It's got it also has a reload speed masterwork. And
Okay.
that thing's fairly nice in Crucible. I've been having a lot of fun with it in Crucible actually. To the point where it would replace my recluse or just about anything, gnawing hunger in there. And it's funny seeing, like, after I use it, seeing other people who have it in the matches that I've been playing lately go through and find it, because
Whip
it's
it
definitely happening. Yeah. It's fairly
That's a good feeling, Dan. That's a
Yeah.
good feeling when you're doing real well with the weapon in Crucible, and then suddenly you start seeing people swap to it.
Yeah.
That's among the highest compliments you can receive in the Crucible.
It's fairly
Reckless
nice.
Oracle is a gun that I have. I've gotten 2 copies of them, but I want to like it because it reminds me of Atheon's epilogue. From
Yeah.
Destiny 1, but I just can't get a handle on that thing. I absolutely cannot get a handle on it. It just it feels way too wild for me.
Use it in
It's-
PvP and see.
It's funny that you said mulligan, right? You said mulligan is kind of meh.
Yeah.
Well, it's got 51 rounds in it, and that reticle is all over
Yeah.
the place. Mulligan's not a bad perk to have on that gun because it might take that 51 rounds and make it 60 by the time you fired everything
Finish
off.
fire.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad perk for that weapon.
Okay.
Because I don't know
That's
if you
funny.
paid attention to that reticle. That reticle bounces around like,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I think is why TBL is having a hard time getting a handle on it. I struggle with that too. I just wish it had a bit more range to it than I think it does
Mhm.
for a controller player. Mouse and keyboard, it's a complete separate animal when I'm using an AR on mouse and keyboard. But
Right.
this is gonna sound kind of kooky, but
Okay.
the more I use it, the more I really like it. I've got a Uriel's Gift with Disruption Break and Field Prep.
I dig
And
it. I
Disruption
love
Break
Uriel's
is a
Gift.
really good perk. And Field Prep makes it everything have Outlaw.
Yes.
If you're crouched, everything's Outlaw all the time. No matter when you reload, it's Outlaw. That's been one of my go-to weapons for high tier PvE because when you break barrier shields, it counts as Disruption Break. So now your primary weapons do significantly more damage. So Disruption Break has actually been quite useful on that. I don't really enjoy using ARs in PvE all that much, but that's been pretty good to me. That'd be my pick.
Right on. Did you answer, Dan?
I'm looking. I don't think he has.
Yeah, I answered
We-
Reckless
yeah.
Oracle.
Oh, Rick,
Like-
Rick,
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'll answer
Okay.
again if you want me to. Let's
You
see
can say it
here.
again. I just want to hear Reckless Oracle again.
I'm expecting to hear the Aikilos SMG to come out of your lips too, because you've been raving about that for so long.
I have been rocking around. So I got this one. There's Vorpal
good.
Dynamic Sway Reduction, Tac Mag, and Hammer Forged, and is real nice. Is very nice. It has a handling mess.
See, that's one of those. That's one of those weapons. How like TBL was saying that he can't get a handle on Reckless Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried the Aikilos SMG, and
I hate
there's
it.
Something about the way it handles that I just want to like chuck it in the bin.
It's got
Yeah.
like 3 bullets in it. Like what SMG has?
That's what it feels like.
It's
Yeah, that's
29
what it feels
rounds,
like.
which on an SMG, like that's part of the reason why the Callus Mini Tool and why the Recluse and why the Death Adder seem to have more utility is because it just has more rounds and
Yeah.
better
Same
handling,
records.
faster handling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you were gonna say, TBL. I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
Yeah,
for
drop
your
the
answer.
bomb, dude. Let's hear it. Roll
It
Yeah,
was
like,
my
ooh.
fault. It was my fault.
It's your fault in the
Okay.
best way because you and I talked about this last week. And it had to do with the fact that Beyond Light, of course, we have an almost 2-month extension before that comes out. And we were discussing last week how exactly Bungie can pad out the time to keep people playing within that 2-month period. We talked about how the last time they had to delay a major release like this, they did a community event and, you know, gave everybody an emblem. But last week, we talked about what if they did another community event, but this time, the reward for the community event was that they updated the weapon and armor set in the menagerie and gave you an opportunity to get 1360 versions of that stuff before the activity goes away.
Okay. Yeah.
That is where I would go with this. Give me my beloved. Give me my 1360 Austringer. I would take that in a heartbeat.
But you can't
Absolutely.
right now, cheater.
But you can't. Yeah,
You can't.
Matter.
It's got to be
doesn't
something
matter.
right now.
It's bullshit.
I mean,
doesn't
if
matter
they
that's what I
update
would
it-
want. If they,
I mean, if
Who
Bungie
knows?
pays attention
But
to this podcast and they send me that check, then they definitely they got that idea for free.
give my mans
it's
that money.
essential.
It's an amazing idea.
It's not a hypothetical question. It's what's available to you right now.
I'm just
Don't
saying.
get out of this with a hypothetical answer, you
Is
cheater.
his answer nothing
These
then?
are my
It
dreams.
is a-
DBL default? Does he forfeit?
These are my dreams, and that is my answer, and I'm sticking with it. I am sticking with
Nobody asked about your dreams, TBL.
We want to know about your reality.
it. Look, I reject any reality that doesn't give me a 1360 Austringer and substitute another that does.
Yeah.
This is
Look,
the other
the
thing I'm worried
reality-
about.
The reality of the situation is that you are getting what you wanted in Beyond Light with Hawkmoon. Now answer the freaking question right now.
Then Hawkmoon. I'm getting Hawkmoon. That's good enough for me. That's expanded Austringer. So I still win. I still win.
This is the weird thing though. Like weapons
Fair.
like Uriel's Gift and Long Shadow are actually being
Yeah.
brought forward, which are nothing more than vendor weapons. It's like the Long Shadow
Right.
is just
Yeah.
a Vanguard sniper rifle, right? And here we have this activity that you actually have to
Mhm.
partake in to earn the loot that never had a chance to shine because no sandbox changes were made and it is just being shelved in the menagerie. And we talk about this every week, my God, but it's the truth. Like, give these weapons their chance to shine. Outside of Beloved, none of them have, right?
Right.
Really, none
Yeah.
of them have really had
Yeah.
a moment in the sun. So, like, even if they said, okay, Beloved had its time, we're going to make Beloved not available to go to, because like, who uses Beloved in PvE anyway, right? Not that
Right.
many people
guy.
use Beloved, you know, so like,
Yeah.
even, but still, I would be farming, because this is the thing, we'd have to go back and refarm it, right? So now I'd have to go back and farm a Callus
Yeah.
mini tool that's going to have Feeding Frenzy and moving target on it, which is like just never going to happen, because I don't know about you guys trying to get a new Swarm of the Raven, but I'm getting like Hip Fire Grip and like Icarus, I don't even know, whatever useless perk makes the grenade blow up as soon as it leaves the barrel, killing me perk on it. Like that's what I'm getting to roll on it, you know?
I believe
So,
that's called friendly fire.
yeah,
Friendly
that's me.
fire, yeah.
That's my perk.
You know, I'm looking through Dim, and there's one weapon that like I can maybe be like, all right, this'll do. I'll be okay taking this forward. And it would be Lonesome.
Oh, Lonesome.
Oh god, I
Okay.
hate that sidearm.
I love my Lonesome. I
Yeah.
got Ricochet on it, a Stability Masterwork, full auto, Swash, and Kill Clip. It's such a fun
Not bad.
little,
Not
yeah,
bad
it's
at
such a
all.
fun little sidearm. That'd probably be the one that I take forward exclusively just to play with in PvP.
I like Enigma's draw. Lonesome doesn't do anything for me.
I do not like that. I think so. Here's the thing with like sidearms, like the ones that I end up like liking, I believe they're the what are they, precision frames? Is that what they're called? Because the thing with like
That's what
the
this
other
one
ones,
is. Lonesome is a precision.
Yeah, so-
precision frame. Yeah.
Right, because like the things with the other ones, it's just like the range just kills me.
Yeah.
Like I tried getting
Feel
into the sidearm that was the seventh Seraph sidearm because like
Yeah.
Cool Guy raved about it. And just like I cannot get the same, obviously because of the range, but I can't get the same kills that I can on my Lonesome with that one. You have to be like in their butt
You got to be fairly close.
in order. Yeah, you got to be like in their butt in order to like do damage with them. And just like,
But that's what a
just-
sidearm is supposed to do, right? That's the whole. The sidearm is basically supposed to be fusion rifle range and just outside
I'm
the shotgun
not-
range.
Sidearm is John
I'm
Wick.
not- right, but
Yeah,
well, like with
John Wick.
with a sidearm of that range, you are putting yourself in shotgun range in order to try and kill him.
That's true.
Depending
Yeah,
on the
but so-
shotgun, you're always in shotgun range.
As opposed to with like my precision like Lonesome, I have a little bit more leniency of like, oh shit, I see them coming at me. I don't have to worry about like them getting any closer to do like optimal like time to kill on them.
Doesn't the lonesome
Right.
slot where the blasphemer does anyway?
It does.
Mhm.
But I can't use my blasphemer when Beyond Light comes. So
Okay.
And I see what you're talking about there with range. I pulled up one of my Lonesomes, and it's like 67 range versus my 7th Seraph sidearm, which is at 24.
yeah,
That's a fairly
You feel
significant
it.
distance.
you
It's a
feel the
big
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you've reminded me. If I can't pick Ostringer, it would definitely be the 7th or Seraph sidearm. I love that thing so much. And with some of these seasonal mods like Surprise Attack being available this season, it's become one of my number one weapons. Like I love that thing. That stupid full auto sidearm is just amazing. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I have. So that's the one that I have too, because like I never got rid of it because as a just in case.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I have on that 7th Seraph is full auto in Vorpal. So
Yeah, that's not
It's
bad. I rock
yeah.
full auto and elemental capacitor. It has become one of my favorite weapons in the game. Good stuff.
I like how we just detached so much from the topic that what we were supposed to
Solstice
talk
of
about.
Heroes.
We started waxing
thought
poetic
about it.
about things.
That's
that
my
we're gonna
bad.
do.
You guys, that's my fault.
I thought about it like 20 minutes ago, and the thought I literally had to myself was, "Wow, while we're enjoying getting the armor and stuff, Solstice is so bland that we've moved on to another topic that's infinitely more interesting. So I see no reason to bring Solstice back
Here,
up."
Here's the solstice thing. The EAZ is I can't stand it. I can't stand
Yeah?
the EAZ.
Okay. All right.
Moving around like just walking. Like you can't just walk without hitting a pebble and stopping. You can't
That is
jump up,
annoying.
you can't jump up a
Yeah.
hill without bouncing off of it and going backwards. Like the way that the
gosh,
roofs
yeah.
are structured to try and climb the top of them, you're hitting a floor before you can get to that. Like it's just sloppy and it makes for slow going. And I can't stand it.
I love the EAZ.
I know you do, and
love
I hate
EAZ
saying that I
too.
don't like it, man, because I know how much you love it, but it drives me crazy.
It's fine. Opinions are opinions. I don't know. I tend to just kind of stay in the rooftops anyway.
It's the only way to play it.
That really is the only way to play it, is to stay up top. But every now and then you got to go
Yeah.
down to get somebody. Then you got to find your way back up. Then you hit a rock and you fall off the map,
Yeah.
or you jump and it consumes your double jump as a hunter and you just fall. I went through one of the
Yeah.
portals. I jumped into the portal and it consumed both my jumps jumping through, and I just fell.
Ooh. Ooh, so you just had to sit there and wait
dude,
as you knew it was
and you're
coming.
falling for 45 minutes, so I'm just like, I'm just thinking
guess-
about how I'm gonna be dead when I hit the ground.
I
Like,
guess this is happening.
So okay, so I'm gonna ask a question because I was in Fire Team chat this week, and this question was brought up.
Humble brag.
Going around the table. What is a positive thing that you can say about this year's Solstice event? And don't
quicker.
worry, we'll do a negative. We'll
It's
do a
quicker.
negative. So.
it's way faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That is 100%.
That's it. Because I was gonna say the point multiplier once you're done with one character. That's just
And there's
makes
no
it
green
faster.
armor either, right? There was green armor last
Yeah,
time.
that
was there
was-
not?
Nope,
Just
they
not as
streamlined the
many
hell out of that.
steps.
They took that out.
So much better. Yeah.
I'd say that not only it's quicker, because what you said earlier on TPL, that it actually respects the player's times when you want to do multiples because of that multiplier, and I think that's fantastic. But also the fact that this armor is not going to be irrelevant until next year's event.
Yeah,
which was huge compared to last year's event, where it's like you grinded your ass off because that was a grind.
2 weeks. In 2
was
weeks,
awful.
And like within the first week of Forsaken, blues were already better than what you had like just spent hours trying to get.
And then they did it again before Shadowkeep.
Yeah.
Remember, this has happened twice now. They've given you a ridiculous grind that resulted in absolutely worthless armor as soon as the new content came out. Twice. Not once, twice. So I'm very happy with the change this time around. Very happy.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
That's a good change overall. I still like the EAZ as like just a place, as an environment to go to. I enjoy it. Do I need to be there ever again? Probably not. Probably never again. I think I've spent all the time that I'm ever going to spend there. But
have you guys gotten any glows?
I purchased a glow.
I'll get the glows when I finish the armor sets completely. I don't
Same.
believe I'm going to be purchasing a glow. I also don't understand how they work, where if I change an ornament on the armor, the glow kind of goes away.
Okay, so the way it works, Aura, is when you purchase the armor, so you're purchasing an armor set. You're not purchasing a glow. Just so as a heads up.
Yeah.
You're purchasing the majestic armor from Eververse. Right. That armor has the glow on it. So that is just basically
that's as much an aesthetic as the Vex armor coming out of Garden of Salvation, essentially,
right?
With blue and the okay.
Right. Now that glow changes depending on the subclass that you're on.
Right.
Instead of like how last year you had to purchase the glows individually. Right. Exactly.
That's so dumb.
You have to purchase the glows individually. This time around, it just changes automatically. You're not buying a glow, you're buying an armor set. That glows.
You're buying a universal ornament that you can put on anything. It's not just an armor set. It's a universal glow that you can put on anything going forward. So I think to purchase all three for each character is like $45,
wasn't it?
Yeah, $45 or 18,000 bright dust.
Bright dust.
So
Bungie.
I can't imagine there's a lot of 18,000 bright dust gamers out there.
Not anymore with the change of bright dust economy.
I have 17,000 right now.
I think.
Oh, okay, so you're good.
Yeah,
almost a couple more bounties, and I might get there, or gifts of whatever from the. God, I haven't looked at the season pass.
Yeah, just do your weekly stuff on your characters. Do your weekly playlist stuff on your characters, and you'll get it.
Yeah,
like.
If I care.
If I care, that is if you care,
right.
though.
Right.
And personally, like I got it to kind of look at it for the episode. And
bro, you could have just expected it.
No, well, I know, but I also wanted to run around with it. I wanted to like.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever use it in the future. I don't know if I'll ever use it in the future. I do everything for journalism, guys. But
fair.
There's I don't know. It seems it's fine. There's Bungie is an organization that is in a capitalist society, and we need to they need to make money somehow.
I
think if you have bright dust, use it, because like $15 is pretty steep for just
$45 is a video game.
That's a video game.
That is the expansion,
right? You know,
that is the expansion.
So let me say that I think the price is justified given the aesthetic.
An exotic emote is a season pass.
So I don't have a problem with the price. I don't. I'm not going to pay it.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to.
I haven't heard that you get invited to Bungie for buying stuff from the Eververse.
Oh man, then I'll be invited real
quick. Let me
quick.
tell you that is That is not true, my friends. let me break that to you right now, bud.
I just pictured
Distinctly untrue.
I picture Nim with like $15 walking up to DMG and he's just like, "Hey, so this is for an
Here you
email.
go. Going to buy that glow right now, buddy.
So can I come in, bud?
I'll go
Let me in.
I'll go there and pick it up if that's cool. Curbside?
Invites in the mail.
The weird thing about like I have no problem offering financial support to Bungie, but doing it through the Eververse isn't my preferred method. Like if they were like if they did anything, they were like, hey, not saying they would, but like there was a GoFundMe if there was a generic tip thing. Like if there was something where like I could just like it's so weird because I'm like I can throw $10 to Bungie, sure. Like I don't need an in-game cosmetic, and almost the fact that there's a product to it makes me almost not want to do it. Like I'm so weird. I'm a weird dude.
It's because the thing that you're buying in your mind, you don't see it as being worth $15.
Yeah.
And you're right.
But I'd give them $15.
But you'd give them $15.
Right. Yeah.
If like there were just an option to just
like if I was walking by Bungie Studios and they had a tip like they had the guitar case out front, like the musician, like I'd throw $15.
Oh my God.
And just keep walking. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I understand 100% because I feel the exact same way. I have no problem giving money to Bungie. I love this game. I love the company. I want to see them make more stuff for me. I can't justify spending $15 on an ornament. I can't, and I won't.
So that just put a weird image in my head of like someone playing guitar out front and then somebody walking up and being like, "That's not how you play it. That's a bar chord in the original."
Dan.
Is this a deep-seated memory coming to the forefront, Dan?
No, it's not. But that's the equivalent of like Bungie, fix your game.
Bungie,
100% accurate.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful.
Has anybody gotten the white glow yet?
No.
The white glow is what you get for finishing the
Masterworking,
Majestic
right?
set, the Masterwork set.
Not Masterwork.
Okay.
You complete the last set in the Magnificent, but it's not a Masterwork.
Gotcha.
Right. So, because you would Masterwork it the same way you would Masterwork any other armor, right? You just put
correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I just have the helmet and chest left.
The glow appears per armor piece per completion of what is the task at hand. So when you do the Altar of Sorrow, you get the glow on the class item. When you do the 7 Trials wins, I think it's the boots.
Correct.
I've done everything except for the pit, and I haven't done my 3rd character yet. So once I finish my 3rd character, I'm hoping that I can do 1 pit run and get it for all 3 at the same time. I hope.
That's what I did yesterday. I had finished my Warlock's Magnificent set, and I was like, you know what? Let me get my Titan and my Hunter there. So last night I did that, and I managed to knock out the Trials part out of the way too, with Connie and Dutra, and we went to the lighthouse. I've never been flawless before until last night, so that was just like a little extra cherry on top there money. Too. Yeah. So I got all of it done. Yeah. So I'm like set, and let me tell you, the white glow far better than the subclass glows in my opinion.
Really?
So much better. They need to work on the Warlock though, because the Warlock's emissions are like compared to the Hunter, at least. Like the Hunter, like emissives for the white glow is insane. Like that dude is bright. Like you can see that fucker coming from like 10 miles away. But the Warlock is like super dim. Yeah. But no, they look really, really good because it's not just like a straight up white, but it has like this almost like a blend of like different, like very subtle coloring in there. It looks beautiful.
I feel like it's hard to tell in the character screen how
it's
what it looks like because
because
the background that's there, it doesn't give it a lot of justice. Like you can almost barely see it in the character screen when you're looking at it. So like you almost have to go somewhere dark to really enjoy.
So chat, if you guys are curious, this is how emissive. I'll put a link here in chat so you guys can take a look. Because I posted pictures last night of each of the emissions because I wanted to compare them, and that link will take you to the Hunter emission in a dark area, and holy
Oh.
shit, dude.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it a lot.
Ooh.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
It's really nice. It's really, really
I'm
nice.
surprised at you being, the occultist of the void, not enjoying the purple.
The purple looks too weird. It doesn't. It looks more like a hot fuchsia than like purple.
You're not into
okay.
that?
Okay.
So
If we're gonna
No.
go void, we're going void, dude. Okay, like we're going deep
Yeah.
purple. You know what I'm saying?
Void boys all the way.
have you
been
have you
an
guys
Arc boy
seen
lately.
the stasis glitch?
No.
So if you're warlock and you put on an arc subclass, and if you have the arc glow equipped, throw on Fellwinter's helm, and
Okay.
it will change the arc glow to the stasis glow.
Hmm.
And
Really?
it's the weirdest shit, but it works. Like I was out in the
That-
world and I put that on. It's like
Odd.
it's straight up. It gives you the stasis glow for some reason, but you need to have like the arc. You have the ornament set in order to see it because you need the arc glow. But yeah, if you guys want to see the stasis glow like in game, you can 100% do that right now.
That had to have been
Interesting.
some developer that was just like, okay, so this is how I'm doing it right now. And okay, lunch, honey, in these times, sure, I'll have lunch, and then forgot to reset it.
Forgot to change the
Yeah.
to change the coding back. Yeah, somebody forgot something. I could see that.
Yeah,
cool,
but
though.
yeah,
Try that
it's
out.
viewable in the game right now.
I'm going to try that out. Because the stasis, what color does the stasis glow?
It's like a deeper blue.
Yeah,
A more blue.
It's a bluer blue,
it's less
dig
aquamarine.
that.
but it looks good. It looks good. Yeah, it's less that then. It looks nice. I like it.
It's interesting. So overall, how has everybody's Solstice of Heroes experience been? And we've talked a bit about the EAZ. We've talked about the things that we've liked about it. I think the event has been pretty good this time around. I'm glad that it didn't take as much time to get some of this stuff done as last time. I echo a lot of the sentiments here. I like the EAZ. I think it's a cool activity and a cool world space. I also hate the geography that seems to trip Aura up because more than once have I been going full speed on a Sparrow only to hit the tiniest of pebbles and come to a complete stop or trip.
And take damage doing it too. Like all
And
of a
take
sudden,
damage.
Sparrows have health. Yeah.
Look, that's an
because-
EAZ boss for you.
Yeah, that pebble one shot you, and Lord knows that exploding sparrows do the most amount of single point damage in this game. But overall, I thought Solstice this year was definitely better than it was last year. If they do it again next year, I would like to see them do something different. I don't think they need to bring the EAZ back again
No,
and have us do the exact same thing. What do
Yeah.
you guys think?
I'm in that camp. I like
Yeah.
it's coming back for a second time to this location is fine. Like it's fine. Like I understand they're under a lot of pressure to make stuff, and it is this is a fairly easy event for them. I
Yeah.
like that they extended it 3 weeks or to 3 weeks instead of 2. I'm glad that the grind isn't as in depth overall for the armor pieces. I don't know. If I never see it again, then I'm okay. So it's I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you guys this though, right? I'll tell you guys this. And I said it before earlier on in the week. Use this event
Mhm.
as a point of reference for expectations
Yep.
for Festival of the Lost.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We are definitely going to go back to the haunted to the haunted forest.
100%.
Yeah,
There's no
don't go
way.
expecting anything crazy for Festival
Save
of
up
the
your
Lost.
bright dust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
I don't know.
But
Yeah.
All right.
It's something
It's
to
an
do
alright event.
in the meantime. We're in stretch mode. We're trying to stretch everything
Yeah.
out as far as we can. And
I'd say-
this would have
Good.
come close to I mean, we're in the middle of August. Original launch date would have
Yeah.
been, would have
A
been
month
sometime
from
in
now.
September. We would be looking forward to the expansion in a couple of weeks, but it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Like the most annoying part of Solstice this time around for me has been the part that forced me to go run strikes. Whereas
Oh my
I hated
God.
all of it last year. The only part I hated this time was having to go run strikes. I hated that part more than I hated the 10 games of Gambit I had to play.
That's
That
actually
at least
surprising.
Yeah,
10
that-
games
well,
of
that went
Gambit was
quickly.
tough. When it was down to 6 or whatever, and then even
Oh.
lower than that, it was pretty much money. But that's coming
Yeah.
from somebody who's actually been playing a lot of Gambit lately to try and do other stuff.
Mhm.
And the other thing is, like, it's so weird. You could throw. Like, you could just go into Gambit and you could grab motes and jump off the map and try and end the game faster just to get it done. But that becomes dependent upon the team you're playing against actually doing damage to the boss. Because then what happens is you end up in a match where you put no motes in the bank and the other team's trying to kill a boss with an AR. And it's like, if I just played the game legit, I'd have been done by now because I'd have DPS
Yeah.
the boss, we'd have been all set. So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. I don't hate Gambit. I really don't. I don't mind it. The other weird thing is, like, nobody wants to invade now because everyone's trying to grab orbs.
Oh,
So like nobody
Mhm.
wants to invade. So like we're literally playing games of Gambit with nobody invading on either team. It's like what's happening right now?
Everybody's
I-
killing ads.
Yeah,
I
like
had the weirdest thing today where somebody invaded and then just stood there.
They went-
people are trying to end the game as fast as they possibly can. Like going to overtime is the worst thing. Like you'd almost rather just take your win or
Yeah.
take your loss and move on. It's to the point where like it mattering is. Yeah,
Uh,
no, I can see it. No,
What?
okay. I thought you were gonna say something. You like breathed in, opened your mouth, like it was gonna, like words would come
No.
out, and then like nothing happened.
No.
Okay,
No. I'm just breathing.
I think just
good to know. Good to
practicing.
freaking know.
You've been practicing your exercises to stay calm. I see. Just
But it's the truth. Like you could, like you, if you could group up with people and you could just go in and throw, or you could go in and dominate and be done. It's one or the other. Like getting involved in an actual competitive game defeats the purpose because Gambit matches are pretty long. Like they're generally not quick.
Gambit
Oh,
Prime
yeah.
matches. That's it. That's the place.
Does Gambit Prime count? I didn't check.
It counts as
It counts for
completion. You don't
completion.
drop orbs there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I've been trying to get the Ancient Apocalypse gear, so it's like I haven't
Yeah.
been doing any other Gambit.
Prime is faster though. It is generally a little bit faster. I
Yeah.
think next time they do something like this, one of my biggest complaints, and we've actually talked about it here on the show plenty of times, is the notion of just creating busy work and unfun activities, like setting people off on heroic adventures and stuff that they may not want to play, and
Oh my
10 games
God.
of Gambit or 5 strikes.
The
or getting
adventures one
10
was
season
tough because
strikes.
so many people cleared
Oh.
the maps already, and like your only
Yeah,
option
you
is
had to
heroic
wait.
ones.
Yeah.
So like I got
Super
lucky with
annoying.
those because apparently my warlock hadn't done any like of this like the adventure
Ooh.
stuff
Yeah.
for
Same.
Mercury.
Same.
So like when I got to that point, I literally had 5 adventures just waiting for me on Mercury
lucky.
to complete.
Those are long adventures, though. Those aren't.
They
They are so
They're
long,
strikes.
dude.
They're basically
oh
strikes.
My God.
It's because of the
that-
first
oh.
section. It's going through the first part of the forest. That
forest,
is always
yeah.
the worst.
With actual
Yeah.
daemons or whatever they are, Matt Damons, and they're
Yep.
keeping you from going
All
forward.
these Matt Damons.
All the Matt Damons, dude.
So like,
I knew you were gonna
I-
like that.
I keep picturing Team America.
oh yeah,
I knew
I'm
it. I
picturing
knew
Jason
it.
Bourne like stopping us from going forward. Anyway,
Please continue.
So I was gonna say, so next time they do something like this, I think Bungie would be okay substituting out forcing people to go into some of those lesser played playlists and just saying go play any playlist activity. Rather than
Yeah.
5 strikes, go play 5 of any playlist activity. So if you like to play PvP, you can go play 5 games of PvP. If you like to play strikes, you can go play strikes. If you want to do adventures, you can go do adventures. Rather than saying, all right, now go do 5 strikes and then 10 games of Gambit and then 5 heroic adventures.
Yeah.
But it's not just completions you have to do. You got to match the orb with the element, and you got to match the element with the day, and you've got to pick up a certain amount. So even like flying through strikes didn't give you an advantage because like at some point I was done everything and had generated like 500 elemental orbs. And it's like, well, I'm going to put on Risk Runner and go farm Frolic at Escalation Protocol because that's the fastest way to get them. You know what I mean? So
I think like if you kept that requirement, I think that's fine because orbs literally drop from anywhere except for Gambit Prime, and
except for Gambit Prime.
Like that's kind of like in the spirit of the thing. Potato Jim makes an excellent point where he says, I don't think that it was the trip down memory lane that they were hoping for. And it's like,
no.
Why are we're not? It's not a trip down memory lane
because we've been doing it for powerful rewards and pinnacles for all year. Like,
it's not one that's meaningful.
Busy work.
If they really wanted a trip down memory lane, which is probably what they're going to be doing with the Exodus and the extraction bits, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely
taking us to the locations that are going to be disappearing before Beyond Light comes in.
You guys remember, like, very early in Destiny 2's life, where we did like the whole celebration thing, where they reprised specific missions from like the Red War campaign, and they added like the crazy bosses and like the like, for example, like the boss that's in the EAZ with the servers multiplying. Like, there are so many campaign missions that have come out since then that could have 100% been used in place for a proper celebration of like the Guardians' accomplishments, which is what Solstice of Heroes is supposed to be about. Like, we have the entirety of Forsaken, the entirety of like, well, all of like 5 Shadowkeep missions that could have been used, and like we just haven't seen that. Like, the
problem is they already delivered it in the Nightmare Hunts during season of during Shadowkeep. They shot their shot, and then that was actual paid content.
I feel like that's the same though.
Well, it's the bosses from Destiny 1. It's like Skolas.
No, but I'm talking about like as things to do for Solstice.
Right.
Yeah.
But they definitely did kind of spin that idea equity in the Nightmare Hunts though. With with the bosses that they chose. I mean, Gaul's one of them. Like
Gaul, Skolas, Omnigul. I mean, how not? We're really talking about Destiny 1 like meta bosses at one point. Other than, I mean, Omnigul wasn't a meta boss, but it was somebody who's been murdered 1 million times. Thank God that's not a hive weapon, because holy hell.
But I mean that's I feel like that's just more like leaning towards the narrative that what we've already lived through, not like a celebration of like our Guardians' accomplishments. Again, there's a lot of stuff that they could, you know, that there's up for grabs there, especially in Forsaken.
Like maybe they could have they could have allowed more like orbs to drop in certain like heroic versions of them. Like I get what you mean, because I remember that one where you had to take the tank through, and that was real fun. But I don't know.
Like on Titan, you mean, when you had to grab the CPU and like drive over all the hive to get out, kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think that was one of them, right?
Yeah, so the Redux story missions was actually from Solstice of Heroes 2018. That was the first Solstice of Heroes they did, where you had to run through those old story missions, but like with a bunch of extra things added in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I could have seen them doing something like that, but incorporating, you know, some of the newer missions, like some of the missions from Forsaken, some of the missions from Shadowkeep. Maybe a bit better than what they did. Overall,
it's free content. It's busy work. It's free. It's an opportunity at armor and gear, which is just
cosmetics,
flood into weapon parts and legendary shards and whatnot. Yeah. So like there can't be a lot of investment into something that's not going to ultimately be like a return.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other than like the paid stuff in the Eververse that might move to.
I was about to say, I don't know, man. That one finisher generated a lot of return.
A lot of money. They made a lot of money off of that finisher.
Yeah.
But also, you know, it's better than it was last year. I think everybody would agree that the Solstice of Heroes this time around is better than the one we got last year before Shadowkeep.
The
Yeah.
knee-jerk
Certainly.
reaction on Twitter was pretty bad, but ever since I haven't seen a lot of bitching. Like when
Yeah,
people looked
'cause
at
it's
it
not
at
that
first, it was like, oh, blah, 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 and then like, you know, like the rabble, you know, then all of
Yeah.
a sudden it calmed down once, especially once people saw the points multiplier.
Like, oh,
Like if Twitter isn't on fire about
Okay.
it, it's probably in a pretty good spot.
Twitter's
know?
always on fire.
And Twitter's not really on fire about this. Not that I've seen anyway.
Not anymore. It had its
No,
like,
initially it
24-hour
was, but yeah.
cycle. It had its 24-hour
Yeah.
cycle where everybody was complaining about it, and then
they
we found
realized it
something
wasn't
else to
that
talk
bad.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially
Flashing
after the point multiplier thing came up. That was just like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, if that's the case,
People just aren't as loud about the things that they like.
I hope they adopt that and put it in play for other things too. Like going and grinding the story
Absolutely.
3 times on 3 characters was brutal.
Oh.
All that kind of stuff, and not having a Sparrow until you got to Io if you didn't get lucky and have to like walk all of
Yeah.
Nessus was pretty. You new Guardian, you don't know what we went through.
oh my goodness, Vanilla D2. That was an awful experience.
He literally had to walk uphill both ways up Nessus.
Wasn't great. It was
We
not
had
great.
to complete all those adventures.
Oh, yeah. You wanted exotics? You had to do every adventure on the EDZ.
What are you
Every
talking about?
single
Just run-
one.
Just run patrols. That was the exotics. What do you mean?
Just do public events, bro.
We all know that public events are random.
So yeah, is that all the thoughts we have on Solstice of Heroes?
Yeah,
That's all the thoughts I
That
have.
sums it up. Yeah.
all for me.
That's all the thoughts we have. We're done. That's it. There's no more thoughts. We're moving on. Well, all right. Was there anything else in terms of news that we needed to talk about, or is that pretty much it?
I think that covers it because there hasn't been a whole lot of news.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot going on.
There ain't a whole lot happening right now.
Nim's out here carrying people with for Fashion Emblem photography.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
look, man, I'm just trying to help.
Yeah. And right, it's awesome.
It's got a photographer.
Connie's
real
pictures.
good.
So I took Connie's pictures and they turned out so good.
Yeah.
So good. I really, really like the way his turned out. Been having fun with that, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you're pretty good at it. Lord knows. I've stolen a bunch of the images you've made. I think I still use as my background on my PC one of the images you took.
Oh,
Like the
really?
one from the Tree of Probabilities. It's it's yeah, that's still the background of my PC. So keep it up, Nim's photography service.
Which, by the way, so I have that link up on my Twitter bio. If anybody wants to
Yeah.
grab those, there's a bunch of like 2K and 4K screenshots in there if you want to use them for stream backgrounds, wallpapers, whatever. That will be going away in November because that is taking a solid like 50 gigs on my Google Drive.
Okay. So
So I'm gonna need space in order. What? Yes.
so what you're telling me is you have your own personal Destiny 2 content vault.
Oh shit.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard. That's what he said.
Oh no, I'm part of the problem, Dan.
Rest in peace. All right, we're gonna need to start a
I've missed you,
crowdfunding
Nim.
to buy Nim Plays some more Google Drive space.
It's like $1.99.
Yeah. Can we crowdfund $2.99 to get him 200 gigabytes of space,
An
everybody?
external. Oh man, so yeah, like, because in order to make more like space for the newer stuff, so I was just gonna delete like a bunch of the older pictures that were on there because it's been there for like almost 2 years now. So
Yeah.
So yeah, it's on the Twitter link if you guys want some
There's
screenshots.
pretty stuff in here. Like I might make an offline backup of all of this stuff just in case you want to pull from it later on, because you've taken. I'm scrolling through it right now. You've taken some really incredible shots. I'm looking at the picture of Protoss throne right now, and it's like, damn, that's pretty, man. You do good work.
I just take the pictures. Bungie makes the environments. But thanks,
Good
man.
stuff in there. There's some good stuff in there. Oh, and the haunted forest. That might be my next background. You've got a really great shot of the background area of the haunted forest. I might have to steal that one real quick. Get in there and download this stuff before he gets rid of it, guys.
Yeah.
It's
That'll
going
actually
away.
I'll put new ones of the haunted forest because I figured out how to take 4K screenshots without having
Right.
like a 4K monitor.
Ooh.
So you're saying that there's going to be some 1360 haunted forest pictures up there?
yes.
You're upping the
31.
power level of those. They're not getting sunset.
Those those are going to be 1360 instead of 1060. Because again, like those are really old. I think those are like at 1080 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, those will be updated to 4K when Never Festival goes back up.
Right on. It's a lot of good stuff in there. Make sure you go and grab some of it before some of it goes away, people.
In the NIM content vault.
The NEM content vault.
The NIM plays content
NCV.
vault. Coming this November to a Google Drive near you.
Well, all right. Does that mean it's time to move on to audience questions?
You're. We only have a few.
Let's blow through 'em.
But Coffee asks, do you guys expect Europa to be as large or larger than the Dreaming City?
I kind of do expect it to be about as large as the Dreaming City. We know that, with the DCV coming in, they're getting rid of a lot of world spaces. They're freeing up a lot of resources.
Mm-hmm.
And just based on the size of Europa, we got to see what the director with it looked like. It looks like it's a fairly sized planet. And of course, we're getting Cosmodrome back too, and probably some other new areas. I would expect it to be maybe around the size of the Dreaming City. Or Tangled Shore.
Yeah, Tangled Shore, I think, would probably be what
I
my
mean,
expectation would be.
As long as it has landing zones, I don't give a shit.
Right? Size don't matter.
They've been, talking up Europa to be a pretty sizable location, considering they say, they made sure to mention that they've been building this for like a really long time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wasn't there a leak way back in the day when they were talking about Destiny 2 or like a future iteration where it was like it was more centralized on one planet and you're helping little settlements around the area?
I remember something
Does that-
vaguely like that.
Yeah, does that sound familiar to anybody? I want to say that was a thing a long time ago, like before Destiny 2 came out.
My memory is not good enough to have retained any information like that if it did exist.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Does says Europa is smaller than Titan, but on Titan we've only seen like 3 platforms.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of picturing it to be around just to be around Tangled Shore size. If it were Tangled Shore and Dreaming City size, that'd be pretty wonderful.
Either of those.
Love Rachel asks, out of all 3 characters, which Solstice set do you guys like the best? Thinks look the best?
Warlock.
Warlock does look pretty good. But that glow, that white glow on Hunter. I don't know.
I just like devil horns.
I really like the chest piece for the Warlock. I'm not too crazy about the helmet. Because like the helmet, the helmet almost it's like a variation of the Prodigal hood, like the OG Warlock helmet. But then it has like those things on the sides that just make it look weird. I don't know.
Kind of like Nezarec Sin a little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Warlock. I'm sticking with it.
I do like the Warlock set.
Hunter Devil Horns all the way. I'm into it. Got that life. Jebby13 asks, "How do you feel about the fifth shader on the Swatch?" So I guess he's talking about the shader that was available last week. That had like it was black and white and gray, but on the Swatch, and then it just it had that like blue.
Yeah, there's like somehow blue comes out in that shader. There's a meme that I saw about that shader that I laughed a little too hard on because it was just so dumb. It was just it was that meme of like SpongeBob. I can't remember. It was just a back and forth. It was like, so this is a black and white shader, right? Yeah. So it should shade, things black and white. Yeah. And then like at the actual shader, it's like it shows blue. I wish I could find it because it was just so funny, but yeah, it's I don't know, it's weird.
I hadn't seen it, so
it's weird.
It looks weird on stuff. It's like it's okay. The blue that they choose is kind of like rough. Is it the best way to describe it? Or if it's on fabric, it looks kind of rough,
like it's worn.
Yeah. And so, but like I've seen like Ill Physics had like posted a picture of his Titan with it on, and it looked awesome. It looked real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's okay. It's a shader.
Right.
It's a shader.
I'm less upset about a fifth color on the Swatch that's not showable than not being able to rotate the shader and change the regions that the colors show up on. That would be a cool feature sometime in the future.
Yeah, that is something that I hope they do. Yeah, real soon.
Yeah, or if you just pick a color. I've talked about this before. I want clan shaders. Whatever you pick, colors you picked for your clan on the banner. When you go talk to Hawthorne, that should be a drop. Like if you complete stuff every week, you get three drops of the clan shader or whatever.
What about a solid shader? All 4 swatches are black or white or red.
Into it.
Can we just do away with the shaders and just give us a universal color palette that we can customize? Because
also,
I'm sure that would save up a lot of resources in the game.
There are a lot of unused shaders. Yeah.
This has turned into a Bungie Please Reddit thread.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying what makes sense, Dan.
Yeah, I know. I still love you, Tim. Let's see here. We have Gray Fox coming in with November looking a bit packed with games, consoles, and Beyond Light. How are you preparing?
I'm not.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do but sit and look sadly at your wallet because you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Let me redirect a question at you guys. Outside of Beyond Light, what games coming out this fall are you guys looking forward to playing?
I'd love to say Call of Duty if Activision would stop dick teasing with it and just tell us what's coming in November. That'd be nice. It'd be very, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to it. They still haven't announced the Call of Duty for this year outside of just saying there's going to be a Call of Duty this year. But this week, they started putting out little teaser Easter eggs. They sent a bunch of content creators boxes with locks on them that a lot of content creators didn't know how to open, which was a bit funny. It's almost like they never went to high school and had to deal with a locker. Inside those boxes were projectors, which a lot of those content creators didn't know how to use because who's used a projector since 1994?
Look, man, you'd think that they'd learn something from Stranger Things. Those kids are nerds.
They gotta learn. They gotta learn today. So like, and it's just a bunch of nonsense. It was like pictures of families and random stuff. And they're like, you guys figured this part out. The next Easter egg for this COD is coming out on Sunday. No, just tell us what the game is. We're like 3 months away. Just tell us what the game actually is.
That means that there's not a game. It's just
Oh,
a giant
no.
catfish. It's a Call of Duty catfish, guys.
We're getting the Call of Duty catfish. It's going to be on the
Honestly-
next episode of Catfish.
They wouldn't even need to announce a game for people to just like immediately empty their wallets out for it.
Oh, yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
It's COD. Of course they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I no idea what I'm going to be playing. Is Cyberpunk still dropping in November, or did they push that back?
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
they haven't had.
It's not like there was a question mark at the end of that. Dan.
Yeah.
Because so much is pushing back now that like
Yeah. Like Halo. Yeah.
Halo pushed all the way back to like next year. So
Oh,
I think
boy.
Cyberpunk's still on track for November until they say otherwise.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you what I'm most excited for. What I think is going to be Game of the Year.
Ooh.
And that's a little game called Tony Hawk Pro Skater Remastered.
Okay. I dig it.
It's going to be Game of the Year. That or Fall Guys are going to be Game of the Year for whatever reason.
I have not
Because
played
Dan
Fall
said
Guys.
Fall
I have
Guys is
seen
real
everybody
fun.
playing it. Is
It
it?
is real dumb. It is imagine controlling a baby and using that baby to tackle other babies.
Oh, mama.
That's
I've
what
seen
that is.
everybody playing it. I haven't played it yet, though.
Yeah.
I might have to
It's-
give that a shot.
It's fun. We hopped in a Discord call, and I think there were like 16 of us, each in like our own little team, trying to match make with one another because you can't do private lobbies.
Right.
It is free on PSN, is what Gray Fox says, but it's
Mm.
you can't match make in private lobbies, but you can do the dumb thing that we do in Destiny 2, where it's just like, all right, we're counting down, and hit
Oh.
hit X on go. And we would get in there like occasionally with another person on our team or in our call. So it was pretty fun. But yeah.
Let's check that out. It looks like a lot of fun. Looks like a lot of stupid fun, and that's right up my alley.
Yeah. What about you, Aura? What are you going to be playing?
Man, let's get there first.
I feel that.
The man with the pragmatic approach.
I'll be playing Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's coming out a day before my birthday, so I'm pretty stoked. It's just like maybe 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
real.
played
soon.
the beta. I played the beta and I had a really good time with it.
I played the
Good,
Crucible beta, which was pretty neat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have you guys
What's that
heard
one
of
again?
Crucible? It's called Crucible, and it's like
It's
a
just called
PvE
Crucible,
VP game.
Was that Amazon?
It's kind of like, I don't know. My buddy DM me was like, "Here's a code." I was like, "Sweet." So I played it for a little while. It was kind of fun. It was kind of cool.
I heard that they took that game from an open beta to a closed beta because the reception was not super hot.
Yeah. That was back on June 30th. I'm looking at an article for it right now.
Yeah. It's in closed beta right now.
Yeah. It's a free-to-play team-based action shooter driven by the choices you make.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
kinda
I
neat.
know
It was
that.
alright.
I know that MTash had started to play it, and he had some pretty mixed things to say about it.
Certainly
Yeah,
looks
but,
interesting.
Yeah.
Give it
Oh
a
yeah, that's true. But coffee. So just as a heads up, anybody who wants to try it, the Avengers beta is it's public next weekend, starting
Oh,
Friday
right.
Friday through Sunday. It's fun, man. Like anybody here that would play would pick it up, like just kind of immediately, just because like it's Avengers meets Destiny.
Right.
Like even some of the UI elements are literally just taken straight from Destiny and into that game. Like the
Oh yeah,
I
you showed
showed
me that
Dan.
last night. Oh yeah.
yeah, Dan knows. Dan knows. Like the whole UI on how to where you pick your missions and stuff like that, it brings up this exact same like
The
visuals
tooltips
and UI elements. The tooltips
are designed
identical.
exactly the same.
Exactly the same, dude.
Follow what works.
Yeah, no, and it's fun because like so it's a looter, which is weird for the game because it's invisible loot, which ultimately drives it to be like a numbers game at the end of the day. But I'm okay with that because like I don't want my Iron Man looking like trash by just having to equip like the highest power level gear, you know?
Yeah.
There are cosmetics that are, you know, it's considered a live service game.
It's got a battle
So
pass for every Avenger I've
it's
seen.
got yeah.
Don't need any more. Please stop.
But on Saturday or Friday, no, yeah, Friday night, like I was playing it and it was just one of those games where like, and this hadn't happened in a really, really long time, where I was just like, all right, let me just do one more mission. Let me just one more.
Just
And
one
by the
more.
time I came to look at the clock, it was like 3:00 in the morning.
Oof.
But like every Avenger felt really, really good to play with. I'm really excited to like see, and it's very cinematic. Like it's obviously it takes a lot of from like the MCU and in the visuals and style. So I'm hoping to God that like they keep the same level of cinematic like experiences that they give you in the tutorial throughout the campaign. Because if they can do that
Yeah.
alone, like on an Avenger cinematic styled game, like it would be worth the money. And like the multiplayer added onto that, it's just kind of like just the icing on the cake. But I had a lot of fun with it.
Right on. Yeah, it definitely looks good. I've watched through the first mission there, and you're absolutely right. It's a set piece mission. There's a lot of cinematography that went into it. And it looks like it's a pretty fun game. I hope it pans out. It's an interesting combination of genres there.
Dan and I were talking about this last night, and you know, the comparison was it feels like the next iteration of what Marvel's Ultimate Alliance would be in today's day.
Yeah.
I love that game. Like when that came
Ultimate
out in high
Alliance
school.
Great.
X-Men Legends was cool. The first X-Men Legends was cool. I can't remember. Like the second one was Age of Apocalypse. I remember that one.
Correct.
And that one was okay. But like the first one was like really drew me in.
Yeah.
100%. But it's supposed to have a raid equivalent. Like they call it something else at some point. I haven't played it with friends yet. I've played mainly solo because if you play solo, you can use a photo mode in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, being the person that I am with like screenshots and shit, I was like, okay, well, I'm playing by myself for now.
Right.
So I haven't seen like any of the combos that you can do with like other players yet and whatnot. But yeah, it's dope, dude. Like Iron Man is cool. His ultimate's Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
That's Hulkbuster. You can either use it yourself or you can like hand it over to somebody else. Like you pop it like you would Ward of Dawn. You hold L1 and R1 and you can pick where it lands, and like Black Widow or Kamala could get in it and use the Hulkbuster armor. It's pretty neat.
I think it's cool that they added Kamala Khan as a playable character in a Marvel video game.
She's really important to the storyline.
And that's cool because she is by far one of the best created like original characters in the Marvel Comics lexicon in years.
Yeah. Well, she's the one that's bringing everybody back together after what happens in the beginning of the game. But no, it's worth checking out. It's a chunky download beta. It's like 26 gigs, so there's a lot of stuff there.
Right on, man. Right on.
Yeah. We have one last question from Potato Jim. On the topic of forcing players to do busy work, what are your thoughts on making the player base do some trials?
Don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
It's at the very end stage of the armor.
Yeah.
for
And
the
there's no
glow
time
that
limit
you
on it.
don't have to get because you can purchase a glow if you want a different one.
Yep.
I think you get the achievement for getting to the step prior to that, right? So there's not like a triumph that's held back by it. I
think so. Yeah.
There's something for moments
There's-
of triumph with it too. So
Yeah.
it kind of
It's the same milestone, 7 wins. Honestly, I'm not a fan.
you sounded like you were
Not a
having so
fan.
much fun last night though, Nim.
I mean, again, it was going flawless was just kind of like an icing on the cake.
Yeah.
But I think that for people who have anxiety of playing something like Trials, where it's a little bit more intense communication kind of needed if you're not, if you're not getting carried.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it detracts a lot of people from it. I think doing comp matches or like freelance survival or whatever would have been a better option than Trials than to forcing people to play a game mode that at least on PC is not doing so hot.
Yeah.
No, but on
Yeah.
console, it doesn't seem to be as bad. And like, it's really good for the Trials ecosystem. I mean, I went flawless today with Nathan and with Rikiri, and like we clowned the entire. We got shit on the first game we played. We got annihilated. We played a really good team. They were awesome. And then every game. So the thought process was this, and it was the same thing for the Triumph, where let's farm for 1 win. We'll get 1 win. We'll reset the card. We'll stay at 1 win, and hopefully we'll weed out the really good players. Well, it turned out that the card was easier as we went along. We were playing less skilled players later in the card than we were in the beginning. So like that strat got thrown out the window. I'm a PvP guy. I don't have the biggest issue with it, but the majority of the player base has no access to other players to play with. The majority of players are most likely in a lower skill tier that would be required for success in Trials where it comes to wins, where you could have made it bounties. You could have made it you know what I mean? It could have been something that was achievement based that wasn't hell bent on wins. It could have been like win 7 games or get like 10 revives and 5 kills and so on and so forth to make it a bit more approachable to encourage people to get back into it. Like, I don't think it had to be just wins. It could have even been like 7 wins, 20 games.
7 completions. 7 completions.
Right. 7 wins, but maybe 20 games total. You know what I mean? Just if you're not going to win, keep you in there. Well, if you had played 10 games of Gambit, make it take 5 wins and 10 games of Trials.
Right, but they're not forcing you to win those 10 games of Gambit.
Thank God.
Very true.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
I'd rather play solo Trials than go in with 3 blueberries and Gambit lately.
I mean, there is something to be said about that. What was the event where we had the choice? But we had 2 paths where you could either do this thing to complete it or this thing to complete it.
Right.
Yeah.
One completed it faster but was more difficult.
Revelry last year, I want to say.
I think there could have been a different approach, considering that it's the only. Well, what is there's 2 endgame activities, right? It's Trials and it's Pit of Heresy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Those are 2 endgame. Other than that, it was what? It was Nightmare, which like an 860 Nightmare Hunt counts, and which is odd to me.
Altars of Sorrow, which is easy, completely easy to do.
So it felt like there was a different gradient to activities there, where it would have been nice if it was streamlined. Like, okay, if it's going to be true endgame, make it true endgame all the way across the board. Don't make it do a strike for one and then have to find a way to win 7 games of Trials for the other. Like that.
Complete
the meter should be a bit more consistent. Yeah, it's like playing Limbo, right? And then the first Limbo stick is 20 feet in the air, and you walk under it, and then the last one, and then the next one, the very next one is like 4 inches off the ground.
You lose,
right? Nothing in between.
Yeah, I feel you. I get that.
And
I guess I can agree with that.
The guy moves the pole down to 4 inches
right
in front of you, and then goes
Good
luck.
Yeah, have fun.
Hope you get your glow, bro.
Part of that's compounded by like. So personally, I don't feel like I'm forced to do anything right now. I feel like masterworking armor, we've talked about this in the past, it's not a necessity for most things. You can get into a rhythm where you don't need a full set of masterworked armors for everything. But when there's an option to do it, I consider it sometimes. Like Paul wants to take me through trials on PC next week. I'm like, that's gonna be a thing, because I'm not a huge trials guy. I've like never really have.
Neither
been.
am I.
Yeah, and it's never really been a goal of mine to finish, and so it's nice that it's there for those who want it. I don't feel like it forces you to do anything, because you get the glows and everything for the set way before.
Yeah.
If you needed that to complete the glows, okay.
Yeah,
That would feel
that was
more
the best objective.
Yeah.
But you do need that because the subclass glows don't count for the triumph. You gotta get the white glow. So if you do want to complete like those particular triumphs, you are 100% forced.
Do you have to complete all 5? Do you have to complete all 5 sets or all 5 pieces in order to get the triumph?
No,
just one?
Well, yeah, you have to complete the whole
one whole set.
One whole set. Yeah.
Gotcha.
To get the triumph. So if you're like again, you're kind of forced.
Like again, there's just such a stark difference between the tasks that are being asked of us.
Yeah.
And I think Blood Coffee in chat brings up a really good point where it's like, you know, you could make the boots be like raid completions or trials. I mean, you might get the same resistance from some people who don't have the opportunity to do those things, who haven't looked into LFG or the Hunter.io or Discord servers that are all over the place, or Twitch broadcasters that are happy to help. There's those out there who just don't want to seek the resources and want to complain about it.
Yeah.
But
there are other ways to do it. I mean, Paul Tassi posted about farming low-level trials cards.
The problem is that there's so many, like, that's what we did. Now, I did that for the 7-win triumph for whatever this season's triumph is. I forget, Moments of Triumph, maybe. I did that with Riley Smiles and Super Nintendo. And we just farmed 1 win over and over again to get to 7 wins. And we lost like 3 out of the 10 matches we played, playing really good players. And I'm telling you, today, and even the last time I played trials, once we were out of that first like 2 or 3 win area, it was cake, man. Like, these people walked into bullets. Just walked into lanes face first. I mean, there was no, I haven't played Crucible in like 2 weeks. There was nothing that I had to be warmed up for. Nobody knew how to counter a fusion rifle. They walked face first into the barrel. Like, before I knew it, we were flawless. And it was only the first 2 games where we played good players. It was really weird, man. Trials is strange.
It's an odd game.
That's so funny. Last night when we were doing our card, Connie had bullied basically this team, because Connie, the madman that he is, he was running double specials. He was running a sniper rifle and a shotgun.
Of course.
And dude is an amazing player. We ran into this team early on in the card, and he just completely destroyed them, like basically single-handedly. Later on in the card, we run into them again. and after the first round of Connie again just destroying them, the team left in the second round. They were just gone. I had never seen that happen. Like, that they just got so mad about it that they just up and left. It was nuts. Oh, and we faced a wall hacker on our flawless game, which was great, but he wasn't very good, because once Connie figured out that like he was tracking us through the walls, our like strategy was just like, all right, just that guy, take him out like the moment you get a chance. And the rest of his team weren't super hot either, but it was wild.
Well, yeah, I am. I understand what you guys are saying when it comes to the trials thing now, because Aura's right. It's weird. It goes from being extremely easy challenge to get done to something that no average player who doesn't have a dedicated, static group will ever get done. And maybe if they're gonna put in events like this that are supposed to be challenges for every Guardian to get finished. Maybe stick with stuff that can be match made. So next time, just put it 5 or 7 wins in survival or comp or whatever they want to call it. So yeah, I guess I can agree with that. Well,
Yep.
all right. Is that it for that?
That's
I
the
think
last
that's it,
question.
man. I think we managed. I think we managed to do well in extending a what Solstice was into a nearly 2-hour podcast. So,
Well, we had to
hey,
treat
man, if we can keep a conversation going, I think we've done our job here.
we
There
had
you
to
go.
treat you right on your return, dude.
There you
Welcome
go.
back.
I appreciate you, Dan. Thanks.
Right on. Good to have you back, man. Good to have you back.
It's good to be back. It's gonna be fun getting to hang out with you guys again and talk about
Yeah.
all this stuff in Destiny.
Right on,
Yeah.
right on. You haven't missed a step. You jumped right back into it, and it's like you never left. Salt and
Well,
all.
I would just sit here and just like argue with the screen when I would watch you guys when you guys would go left. Like, no, that's
Yeah.
not what's going on.
You're
So, yeah.
wrong. Well, right
saw
on,
you in
man. It is
chat.
good to have you here. Yeah, that's right. It's good to have you back, buddy. I'm happy to see you
Likewise.
here.
Likewise.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 249 of the Planet Destiny podcast, the one about the Solstice of Heroes. Well, if you're still awake, thanks so much for tuning in tonight, everybody. And before you get on out of here, of course, we are going to let you know where you can find us all across the internet, starting with our newly returned co-host, Nim Plays. It's so good to have you back, man. Take it away.
You can find me primarily, of course, over on Twitter, twitter.com/nemplays, where you'll see a whole lot of Destiny 2 screenshots, clips, and all that good stuff. I'm trying to stream, but my God, as you guys have seen here on the show, I'm having crazy internet issues where I just get random packet losses and it kicks me out of calls and streams. So that's primarily why I haven't streamed. So, but yeah, it's good to hang out with you guys again.
Right on, brother. Hopefully we can get that fixed up so you can get back to live streaming. That way we can start
Yeah.
the donation train and get this man expanded Google Drive access so we can put up more screenshots.
I will give you the
More
$5,
more.
Nim. I will give you the $5.
I'm legitimately
Hand it
curious
over.
how much it costs to expand it. Give me a second.
I'm gonna
It's- no, it's
Venmo
like-
it to
it's
you
super
now.
cheap. It's $199 for like 100 gigabytes and $299 for 200 gigabytes.
Oh my God. Okay.
Google Drive's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll be expanded. All right. It's staying up.
So wait.
Start the donation drive now, everybody. Go and subscribe to Nem Plays on Twitch. Do it.
We just kept him from vaulting all of his content. Congratulations.
So that's
everyone.
all. That's all it takes. That's the secret to like not having to vault content. It's just money. You have to give people money.
$5 and a little bit of pressure.
A little bit of peer pressure.
$3 a month for 200 gigs. Yeah, peer pressure. That's not why I'm back on the podcast or anything. Huh, TV?
It is. It's 100% why he's back. It's look. All I'm saying is I hit you with that message like an hour and a half before you made your tweet. Ergo, logic dictates that you're back because I hit you with the peer pressure. I hit you with the DM. I did it for you, America. You're welcome.
Chat.
You're
So
welcome.
for context, right? I sent this man pictures of the of my armor, right? Of the
Mhm.
Solstice stuff. And TBL replied with, if you got the time to be 1060 and majestic on more than one character, you've got time to do podcasts on Sundays.
And he
Yeah.
wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
All I'm
Oh,
saying,
no.
like an hour and a half later, he makes a big tweet. Hey, I'm back on the Planet Destiny podcast.
And all of a
You-
sudden, I don't
you
have
decide.
access to the chat. The
Yeah,
chat.
and
All
then-
of a sudden,
I get locked
I
out of
don't
the PD
know.
podcast chat.
I don't know what that was
Man
about.
taking over.
I don't know what that's about.
You're welcome. I got you. Dan, where you at, man?
Oh, hi. My name is Danfinity. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Danfinity, where the eyes are L's. You can also find me on Twitch 3 days a week, twitch.tv/Danfinity. It's been kind of a crazy week. And because of the generous donations of several people in chat. I had to get rid of all my bows, all my scouts, my Austringer. I have to main a Titan for the first 2 seasons of Beyond Light. What else? I think there's like a Twitch Sing stream in there, and like a spooky stream in there somewhere in the near future. So look forward to those things. I'm not looking forward to the Titan one, but that's me. Outside of that, that's pretty much it for right now. That's pretty much it.
We're right on. And rest in peace, Subtle Calamity.
It was good while it lasted.
Pour one out for the Subtle Calamity. Aura, man, how about you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Aura or on Twitter, twitter.com/evilaura, 3VIL_AURA. Right?
Professional.
That's right?
Yeah.
You got
Okay,
got
good.
it right.
All right.
Good stuff. And of course, my name is The Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at The Black Link. Going to be more of the same this week, average stream here or there on my personal channel and all the new stuff going up on the Planet Destiny YouTube channel at youtube.com/Planet Destiny. But all right, everybody, that is pretty much it for episode 249 of the Planet Destiny podcast. Welcome back, Nim, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you all next week.